జనాభా లెక్కలో ఉండాలి కదా
అంటే అటెండెన్స్ ఫెయిల్ అయినట్టే ఇంకా.
Second interval segment के बच्चे वाला है। Question paper segment DL. Model.
Light అది ఒకసారి. Good morning, sir. Prakash, sir. అట్లేదా ఆకపోతే గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్.
Good morning, sir. Very good morning. So we are on right time, I hope.
Yes, sir.
So YouTube link, can you just share it, sir? YouTube
Yes,
link?
I am sending. Yeah, I'm sharing.
Yeah.
I am sharing,
Yes,
sir. Just couple of minutes.
Wow, so nice. అమ్మ చెప్పమ్మ. ఒక్క నిమిషం. అమ్మ.
Hi, Girish. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you, Girish. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Girish. How things are there in your place?
Yeah, it's getting better, but we are still in lockdown.
Yeah. Okay. We'll start by sharp 10 o'clock. Okay. Maybe 9:58.
Yeah,
We'll start after
yeah,
25
sure.
minutes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Prakash sir, hello. Are you there? Prakash garu. Sir Prakash sir, hello. Sir, hello, Prakash garu.
Yeah, good morning, sir. I'm ready.
Sir,
I'm
we
ready.
are. Yeah, good morning, sir. Our speaker today, yeah, Girish Sridharan is there.
Yeah,
Girish,
okay.
Prakash Rao is a
Hello.
convener of Industry Institution
Hello,
Interaction
sir.
Forum
Nice to meet you.
AP. Yeah.
Yeah, very good morning, sir, Girishji.
Good
So,
morning, sir.
a warm welcome. And
Thank you.
let me thank you for accepting our request and be a part of this program to make it successful. And I'm sure definitely the members will be benefited with your this thing, deliberations, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you once again, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right. We will start, sir. 70 people
yes,
are
sir.
there. Maybe we'll join shortly. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Pujita, please start. Go ahead. Yes.
A very warm good morning to Galaxy of Intellectuals, invited guests, professors, students, and ladies and gentlemen. I, Sri Sai Krishna of Second Civil, take this as a privilege to warmly welcome you all on the second day of two-day national program on the role of structural engineers towards sustainable structures, organized by Department of Civil Engineering, Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women, Bhimavaram, in collaboration with Industry Institute Interaction Forum.
Now, let's have a keynote talk on impact of building information modeling in structural projects by Mr. Girish Sridharan. Mr. Girish Sridharan is currently working as a structural engineer in Los Angeles, California. He graduated with a BTech in civil engineering from NIT Trichy in 2016 and a MS in structural engineering and geomechanics from Stanford University in 2018. In 2015, he worked as a research assistant with geomechanics with the Concordia University, Canada for a period of 6 months as a part of his research study. Design of steel and concrete structures. Mr. Girish is also working on delivering lecture series on structural design using SAP, ETABS, and modeling using Revit and other CAD tools to online education platforms in India to familiarize students with projects and practices in industry. Hereby, I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Girish Sridhar.
Let me share my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good morning. First of all, I would like to extend my thank you and gratitude to Dr. Girish Kumar, HOD of Civil Engineering Department, Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women, for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this lecture series. Um Today, we are going to be talking on impact of building information modeling in structural projects. So this keynote session is a part of a two-day national program in collaboration with the Industry Institute Interaction Forum and Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women. So I would like to take this opportunity to share my views on impact of building information modeling and how does it help us to contribute towards or promote the concept of sustainability in handling structural projects. So let's get started with today's session. Before beginning the concepts involved in this session, let me quickly give you a background of structural or construction industry in India. So if you look at projects or construction industry in India is one of the primary contributors of uh, or key that plays a key role in improving the country's growth, or it plays a vital role in developing the country's economy. In India, India is one of the fastly developing and growing nation, and the way we can put our country forward in the fast track is to uh, contribute more towards the development in construction industry. So if you look at the development in construction industry across our country, you can see that the type of buildings and the nature of construction has been fastly progressing in recent years compared to what it used to be in the early 2000s. So roughly we are fastly moving, or we are approaching towards the concept of sustainability in construction industry in India, and we have a lot of scope in developing or improving in attaining the sustainability in achieving towards the construction industry, which is what we are going to discuss in today's session. So, in order to discuss the aspects or attributes that we need to improve in the structural industry, let us first focus on what limitations or what are the features that we are lacking in the construction industry or structural projects in our country. So, if you look at it in the broad spectrum, most of the projects or most of the construction projects are vast in nature. They are so huge, and it involves multiple disciplines working towards achieving progress in uh, a large scale project. So when it involves multiple disciplines working on a single project, we need coordination to be like one of the key role that helps us in achieving the progress success project or progress successfully. So if you look at when you're working on a structural project manually or without the use of building information modeling tools, we miss a lot of coordination, or the coordination becomes too tough with all the emails and written communications or oral communications going forward and backward. So the coordination becomes very tough without the 100% utilization of building information modeling, and lack of coordination can cause failure in our projects. The other feature wherein limitation occurs is communication. So whenever you work on a large project, you will have a large team, obviously, and when you have multiple member teams, it is very difficult to manage the team without utilization of building information modeling tools, because when you do not use building like a powerful tool like a BIM 360, what happens is you miss out a lot of communication that goes on while completing the project, and these communications go without recording for the utilization in the future development projects, which is a learning experience that we are missing out on. And this could be one of the non-efficient methods when we miss out on communication that happens in the project cycle. The third most important limitation that could occur without utilization of BIM is visualization. So what do you mean by visualization in a project? So whenever we are working on a project, we want to visualize how it is going to appear when it is completely published or issued for construction. So when you have a like a 360-degree visualization of how your project is going to be once it's issued for construction, it helps you to develop more additional details and work on the project with more uh, smaller details such as, for example, if you are working on a house and you need to know where you are going to place your cupboard for your bookshelf or a shoe rack. So this is one of the simple example that comes to a simple construction like a residential house. But even in a simple construction, you might have additional smallest details such as wherein you want to place your cupboard or wherein you want to place your shoe rack. When you know these intrinsic small details and you have a visualization of what material you are going to use to build your shoe rack, it will help you in managing the cost and managing the schedule of the project, where you're going to procure the material for the rack and how you are going to construct it, to whom you're going to handle the contract of doing the woodwork. So all these additional details follow when you start adding the smaller details. So visualization helps in like boosting the efficiency or sustainability in your project, which is currently missing in manual construction softwares. So as you can see, when we use the concept of visualization, what you are seeing to the right is the most of the current scenario. So when you are working on a construction or a structural project and you are assigned to execute the task in the field. So when you approach the field, you are given a A3 or A2 sheet with a residential or construction plan. And then you are seeing the plan that needs to be built on the field. It is easy to, with your engineering knowledge and with your judgment, you might be able to visualize how your building is going to be from the 2D plan. But you will even more appreciate when you can look what is to the left based on the plan. So when you have a visualization based on a building information modeling tool, you will be able to execute the tasks on the field with even more efficiency, which is what when we need when we are approaching towards sustainability in structural projects. Similarly, communication. So when we say communication using building information and modeling tool, you can see that to the left, there are two people communicating in the field, construction field, and to the right, you can see a team communicating the design from the office. So when you are a designer, your work ends behind a desk at office. So you are designing the task that is to be constructed and to be issued for construction in the field. And when you approach the field, you are a field engineer and your task is to execute the design that you have created in your computer on the field in reality. So what happens between the desk at the office and in field at in-person construction field? So there are a lot of things that can go wrong between office and the field, or you might have a different intention of design, while uh, the construction execution could be altogether different because of a simple mistake or a conceptual mistake that you have made in a 2D plan. So how can we avoid these communication gaps using building information modeling tools? So when you use a building information modeling tool, what happens is you record all the information that goes in the construction task with which is associated with the plan that you create. So you're creating all the smallest detail in a real-time modeling basis. So your model speaks for itself. So when I am a field engineer and I see the design which is created by you, I can clearly see a visualization or it clearly communicates with me what your design intent is. For example, even if you make a mistake in your plan view, I can clearly see it in a 3D view that you have created a mistake and it is not possible to execute on the field. And then I can get back to you to say that okay, this design is not practical on the field, and then you can redo the design and send it to me, which is a proper method of communication, which is improving the sustainability or efficiency of executing structural projects. Similarly, how does building information modeling promote coordination or execution of projects in the field? As you can see, building information modeling is nothing but we have discussed about coordination and visualization. we have discussed about communication and visualization in the previous slide. So when we say about communication, it involves sharing or completely explaining the information that we know about a project to someone who is working on the project along with us. It could be your engineer who is working under you, or it could be your manager who is supervising you, or it could be a client to whom you are working for. So as you can see, a project involves multiple people gathering together to achieve progress at one front. You have engineers, you have designers, you have architects. Similarly, you have mechanical engineers. Similarly, you have people who uh, execute the construction field workers, and then you have building and managers, and then you have the clients. So you need to have a coordination between all the team members, because everyone is working on a strict schedule. Because when you work on a huge structural project, the main thing that comes into focus is cost and time. And time is always it's also going to get converted into money. So it is all about money that is spent on the field. Every minute you work on the project is the money that you are spending, the money of the client that you are spending. So you need to be responsible for the time that you are spending on the project. So the most way you can be sustainable, or you can be efficient in executing a task, is by achieving 100% coordination in the project, which is what we are going to attain, or we are going to discuss how we are going to attain it using a building information modeling tool. Like I said, what is the impact of not working or not doing the tasks efficiently? The two major impact are going to be cost and time. So if you're doing a repetitive work, for example, a design or the project design should be completed within 6 months. Because of poor coordination, poor communication, and lack of visualization, you are doing the design back and forth, and then you are taking 3 months addition to complete the project, which means you have already exceeded the design schedule that is assigned or allocated for the project. So which means that you have spent 3 month additional labor on the project, which in turn gets converted into money or the cost. This cost goes as overburden on your client, who is spending money for the project to get completed. So as you can see, when you spend more money for that task to be completed, it shows that the project is not carried out efficiently, and the client is not going to be happy about the way the project was executed. And when you have already exceeded 3 months on the design, it is going to further add up time to complete the construction. There is no way that you can fasten up the project schedule when it is carried out because of your lack of efficiency. So these are the major impacts that can happen when you do not execute the project efficiently. So when you use building information modeling tools, what you are focusing more upon is to gather as much as information possible associated with a project, so that you can complete the project within the associated time, and then you can complete the project within the efficient amount of budget. So this is the key goal, or the primary achievement that you want to achieve when you are using a building information modeling tool. And this is the key way that we can attain sustainability in our structural projects. Similarly, when you work with a building information modeling tool, you can avoid uncertainties that occur while working on a structural project. So you might wonder what uncertainties can occur when you are working on a project. The uncertainties can be of multiple types. It can be due to weather. So if you, as you might be aware, recently we had a major cyclone that hit the coastal areas of Tamil Nadu and then Pondicherry. We had two major cyclones, and this is a major cyclone season. So November and December has been predominantly cyclone season in Tamil Nadu for past 4 5 years. So we have the data that cyclones occur in the November and December. So we can be prepared for such hazardous event when we are working on a project. But let us say that the factor of uncertainty that this cyclone occurs in the month of June, which is rarest of rare phenomena, and this is something not that you can predict for. So you might need to study the weather pattern to be sure of what hazardous event could occur or could drastically impact your project schedule. So there are certain disaster, such as, for example, the disaster could be, for example, I can give you an example of tsunami, which occurred in 2004. This was something, a disaster, which no one could have predicted, because the term tsunami was something new to us when it occurred in India. So these disasters, and similar to COVID-19. COVID-19, though it's a pandemic, it is also equivalently a disaster that has drastically impacted the construction industry this year. So there was no way that we could have predicted the uh, uncertainty factor that COVID-19 could like withheld all the operations for 4 to 5 months in our country. So these disaster events, what happens is it pushes our schedule, which is the project schedule, to and fro, which can affect the budget and the time that is spent on the project. So uh, what we can do using building information modeling is we can minimize the effect of such disaster event when it occurs on the project by studying the previous data. So for example, though we cannot 100% avoid these drastic situations, we can easily find a way to mitigate them or find an alternate to how to execute the project efficiently using the technology and the previous projects that you have already completed. So you have vast amount of information stored in such building information modeling tools that helps you process the situation and arrive at efficient and brilliant solutions to handle it. So let us focus in depth on the concept that we have been discussing so far, which is building information modeling. So what is building information modeling? As the name suggests, it is nothing but it has, you're modeling the project, and then you are associating the project with as much amount of information that you can associate with the building. So all the information that begins with the conceptual design of the project, and that proceeds along till the construction, logistics, and the maintenance of the project. You store all the information that is associated with the building, starting from the initial stage to its completion and the final stage. You or associate the project or the building modeling with the information that is associated during the phase of conceptual modeling, which is how you are creating the layout or how you are creating the project. What is your thought? How many options that you have to create this project, or what information you have, like the structural analysis, design calculations, or what is the alternate design you have when you do the detailed design and analysis of the project. Similarly, once you have completed the design phase of the project, you associate the project with the documentation, like construction documents or materials, procurement, or structural drawings, architectural drawing, finished layout drawings, and then you associate the project with construction logistics, like creating the schedule or preparing estimate on what's the construction cost of the project, or how it is going to be is it going to be constructed within the budget, or is it going to be exceeding the budget, or you can simulate the construction schedule of the project, and then you can assign start time, finish time, to see how it is going to be completed over the execution of the structural project. So you're going to associate all varieties of information using the building information modeling concept. So let us proceed further how we are going to do it step by step. So as I said, building information modeling is nothing but a concept that helps us in associating the information related to the construction process. So building information modeling in construction is nothing but whenever you're working on a project manually, how do you work it on manually? So you work on multiple Excel sheets. So as an architect, you have how you are going to create the layout, how you are going to create the model, and how you are going to uh, prepare a schedule of door, windows, and how do you want the building to be ventilated, what is the lighting requirement of the building. You are going to have a different set of design sheets, and as a structural engineer you might have a different set of Excel sheets. How you are going, what are the loads acting on the building, what is the foundation layout of the building, what is the soil geotechnical report, and what is the bearing capacity of the soil, what type of foundation you need to know use for the building, and these are all, and what kind of member, is it a steel structure or is it a concrete structure, is it the building members are load bearing or not load bearing. All these structural information you will be working on as a structural engineer. So if you are a mechanical engineer working on the project, you will be focusing on heating, ventilation requirements, or you might be wondering, like, if you're an electrical engineer, you will be working on laying out the power conduits and power circuits for the building and how it is going to be laid out. All these details, multiple in discipline people will be working on multiple design sheets. And building information modeling in construction is nothing but integrating all these process as one, so that all the discipline can coordinate with each other in achieving the progress uniformly. And this is how we work on building information modeling as a process. So when you work on building information modeling, you begin with concept. In conceptual phase, like I mentioned, we are going to work on the layout of the project. What is the, how many, like, what is the level up to which you're going to construct the building? What is the area it is going to occupy? How many square feet it is going to occupy? And what is the, like, clearance that you have to obtain before you have to build the buildings, and what area it is located, and does it follow the provisions of national building code. So all these project related conceptual requirements, you will be working in the concept phase of the building information modeling. And when it comes to analysis, different discipline engineers will work on the design of the project. So as a structural engineer, I'll be focusing on obtaining the information or report from the geotechnical engineer. I'll be studying the bearing capacity of the soil, and then I will begin by designing the foundation, and then for the layout and the structural framing, what kind of column that I'm using, and what kind of beams, is it concrete or is it steel, or am I using a circular column or am I using a square column, and how does the architect has designed the layout. So all these design focus, I'll like, my focus will be on designing the structural framing, foundation layout, and then giving the to maintain its integrity and not fail under the service load cases, and maintain its functionality. This is what my focus will be on. And once the analysis is completed, I'll be preparing the design documents, which is nothing but to prepare the calculation report, and then working on reviewing the calculation report and saving the information for future reference. And although you might prepare a detailed design calculation report, you can't expect the construction engineer to look at your calculation report to build the building on the field. So you need to issue the drawings for construction to the person who is going to execute your design on the field. So as a structural engineer, you're working on a concrete structure, and then you are designing rebar for concrete structure, so that you are creating a reinforced concrete structure. So let us say that you are giving the specific rebar and specific layout to a concrete beam, and you have prepared a detailed design calculation report, and you expect the person who is working on the field to design your to place the concrete formwork or rebar based on what you have written in your calculation report. So it will take him a lot of time to first even understand your calculation report. And the person who is executing the design at the field may not be a structural engineer enough to understand your rebar calculations. So how do you make him understand? You collaborate your design calculations with the structural drawings. So you create RCC drawings with your rebar layout and how you are placing your stirrups and how you are creating your main longitudinal and transverse bars and what is your diameter and spacing of the rebar. So you provide your RCC drawings with all these major information, and then you issue your drawings for construction. So when a person is executing your design on the field, he is going to look at it and okay, he is going to understand, okay, this is how my farm work is going to be, this is how my rebar layout is going to be, and then he can proceed further to issue the bar bending schedule and then proceed further to execute the construction of building. Similarly, you can use building information modeling tools to predict the behavior of the project. So for example, let us say that when you're working on a building information modeling tool, like I said, you have a 100% coordination between an architect and a structural engineer or a mechanical engineer, or it could be a building information, building contractors or electrical engineers or your managers or supervisors. So you need the 100% coordination to achieve sustainability or efficiency in your projects. So that is what we are going to learn, how we are going to achieve coordination as well as how we can work on the computation part of the project. So as like the previous slides, we have discussed that building information modeling helps us in achieving coordination. But in the coming slides, we are going to see that building information modeling is not only about coordination, we are also going to associate the BIM tools with specific numbers to compute the design results for our project. So, whenever you have previously worked in, if you have previously worked in a construction industry, or if you have seen tasks being executed in the construction industry, you might be aware that we are using tools like AutoCAD to create our drawings in 2D space. And what happens when you create drawing in 2D space? It is not a wrong practice to create your models in AutoCAD. It is slightly not efficient because you're manually repetitively creating the views again and again, and then you're creating a projection of 2D views using AutoCAD 2D. You might have to create the elevation view, you might have to draw the section view, and then you create all the projections manually. So if you have an error in the plan view, it is going to replicate in elevation view, it is going to replicate in the section view, and then it is going to reflect in every other view that you are creating. So when you are working on 2D modeling, you will have to repetitively make a change if you change in one view. And as human beings, you might miss out on changing the element in one of the view, and it is going to build up as you are working on a huge or a humongous project. So this will tend to reduce the efficiency involved in completing the project documents. So what's going to happen is when you're working on a 3D modeling tool, like building information modeling tool, you are adding even the minute details when you're working on your project. So as you can see, I have worked on a residential structure here, and then I have added two minute details as in where my desk is going to go and where my bed frame is going to be placed and where my couch or the sofa set is being placed in the living room and where I'm placing the interior lighting and where my conduit power outlet needs to be there so that I can place my interior lighting here. So this intrinsic level of detail can go into when you are using a building information modeling tool. So all this information associated with the building goes within your modeling, and then you can gather all this information just by looking at your 3D model, which is slightly impossible when you're working on the 2D modeling tool. And one additional advantage of using a 3D modeling tool is, for example, if I change the location of the living room set, this is going to be reflected in every other view. I do not have to go back to every view to change the position of the element. It is going to be reflected, the change is going to be reflected in real time, and then it is going to save me a lot of time and improve the efficiency. Similarly, with the usage of building information modeling tool, I can create parametric structures. So as you can see, you would have seen all these parametric fancy shelters. If you can, like if you're in Chennai and if you are familiar with the Marina beach, if you go by the Marina beach or the old tunnel road, you can see that due to the expansion in the city, they have started building similar to parametric bus shelters that looks fancy and attracts visitors or tourists. And this is kind of an eye-catching structure that is being built in the recent days. So when you're working on a 2D CAD tool, building a parametric tower is going to be a very tough task, and then you have to pay additional detail to complete the execution of the project. But when you're working with a parametric tool like BIM modeling tool, this is going to be much easier, and then you can execute the project with even more efficiency in completing the project. Similarly, you might wonder what information is associated with the building information modeling tool. We have been talking about a lot of information, but let us see what types of information are associated with the project. So the informations can be physical information that is related to the project, or material oriented information, as in what material or what is the quantity of the material and what is the unit cost to date of the material. All the information could be associated with the material data. And energy and thermal performance of the material. So for example, if you want your building to perform to certain energy and thermal performance rate, all the energy and thermal performance of the material is saved, and then you can evaluate the energy, how sustainable it is to energy. You can evaluate using building information modeling tool. And the data could be mechanical, as in what is the heating, ventilation and air conditioning design that goes in within your building. And the primary data, or the most important information that needs to be associated with your modeling, is the cost. And what is the amount that is going to cost me to build this project, and is it within my budget, or is it exceeding the budget, or is it meeting the schedule. All the information associated to cost is stored as information in a building information modeling tool. Similarly, you can store information beginning from the concept phase to the maintenance and destruction phase of the project. So you cover information that gathers over the entire life cycle of the project within the building information modeling tool. And how do you model, or how do you create these level of detailing in your project? So we have a primary tool in a BIM tool called families and categories. So when you're working on modeling, you will be working on creating the categories to add details to your model. So as you can see to the left, you can see that I have multiple categories such as structural connections, structural fabric assignments, or structural fabric reinforcements, or structural foundations, structural framing, structural path, or structural rebar, and structural rebar connections. So every member that is associated with a structural project is placed in a different model category. And then each category has multiple families. So for example, structural rebar will have multiple families, and then each family will have a different element. For example, your category can have a family as grade 60 reinforcement, or it could be a grade 50 reinforcement, or a grade 30 reinforcement, and then in each family, you will have element as a different diameter rebars, and then you can use these instances to create detail to your project. So under different categories, when you have multiple elements and families, it helps you model efficiently and improve the sustainability or task of sustainability in your project. And when you add these details, you can use building information modeling to render views, which will help you in achieving better visualization, which was one of the limitation we discussed that we are facing currently. Using building information modeling tool helps us achieve better visualization in our projects. Similarly, building information modeling tool helps us to work in a cloud. So when I talk about cloud, it is nothing but cloud is something that you are all aware of, like a drive that multiple people work at the same time to achieve progress on the project. So for example, if you are working without a cloud, let us say that there used to be no cloud. So what is going to happen is two different people are working on the same project, and then one person has to wait for the other person to complete a task so that he can start working. So the time the first person spends on the project and the time second person sits simply waiting for the first person to complete is a negation cost that is adding on our project budget. So which is what we want to avoid when we are improving towards sustainability. So what's going to happen when you're working in a cloud is that two people simultaneously can work on the project and achieve progress at the same time. So what's going to happen is the number of people working on the project remains same, but the time spent working on the design can be minimized, which is meeting the project budget within time and then saving cost, which is what we are focusing on when we are working towards sustainability in our projects. Similarly, you can use the building information modeling tool to create automatic estimates and reports. So previously, when you work on a modeling tool currently, what you're going to do is you're going to set up an Excel spreadsheet, and then based on your layout or 2D drawings, you will be calculating the volume, unit volume, and then the cost per unit volume, and then you will be using the cost to prepare the complete estimate of the project. So when you are working with a building information modeling tool, you do not even have to input these numbers. So if you are using an alternative software, what's going to happen is you have to input the number, area or volume, unit cost of volume to calculate the results. But when you are working with a building information modeling tool, what happens is the BIM tool extracts this information from the model that you have created. So when you have created your 3D model, the tool automatically calculates the volume of the element that you have modeled and the details that you have added, and then it calculates the estimates and report automatically that you can cross verify and then save time, and you can save money in the time that is spent preparing the estimates and reports manually. So this is one way that BIM tool helps us in achieving sustainability. And 100% success of executing the project, 90% lies in planning. If you plan the project properly, you have already achieved 90% of the success. And building information modeling helps us in achieving the same, because you spend because of the coordination and proper communication, the planning phase of the project is properly executed due to like cloud working platform, proper coordination. You work on majority of the task during the planning phase, and then it helps us in achieving the efficiency which is missing from a conventional 2D modeling tools. Similarly, what happens with a BIM tool is that it helps you in preparing for the future. So for example, if I am working on a project and then I'm working on all the projects on building information modeling tool, and then my building information modeling tool gathers information from the projects I have worked on. And starting 2018, the graph shows the amount of project that I have received to work on since the beginning of the year 2018. So if I stop with March 2020, and then I want to know how the rest of the year is going to be for me, so that I can plan my work or I can plan my company's budget based on the number of projects that I might receive. So what happens is the building information modeling tool helps us in giving me the trend based on a different weighing parameters. So you might wonder, okay, you have 2018 and 2019. So what is going to happen is your 2020 must be an simple average of the number of projects that you have received in 2018 and 19, which is not the case when you work with a building information modeling tool, because it assigns weight to multiple parameters such as uncertainty, such as your different types of clients, or different like types of project that you have received, and then what kind of project that you received when your budget was so and so. So it assigns weight to each key factor and then calculates the amount of project that you might receive, and going forth from March 2020 to the rest of the year. So this is what is going to happen when you are using a building information modeling tool. Rather than using a simple average, it uses multiple factors and analyzes the data to give you realistic results, which makes you make a better engineering decisions. So why is your prediction important? Because let us say you have your project, and let us call this as project A, and then you have information such as scope of the project, time that you spend on the project, or the budget of the project, or the technical specifications of the project, like the pictures from your site visit, videos taken during from the construction, or the plans and documents that are issued for construction, and then other key information such as experience of coordination from the project and technical expertise. What technical expertise was executed during this project, and what were the lessons learned from the mistakes committed during the project. These are all golden informations, and this becomes a data to be processed information for your future project. But in reality, what is going to happen is simultaneously, when you're working on a project, you will have multiple projects to analyze the data and information to be processed for your future project. So it will be technically impossible for you to go over each and every project to gather information for your future project, because it is simply not worth your time to spend manually your time on analyzing past information. So what's going to happen is, using the building information modeling tool, you're going to turn your data into results using the concept of artificial intelligence or machine learning and deep learning. So what is the application of these computer engineering related terms in a construction or a structural engineering tool? So what's going to happen is, using artificial intelligence in construction industry, we are going to work on building information modeling tool helps in working on developing algorithms to process the project data, and then it helps in making technical decisions based on the ML and AI algorithms, and it gives you efficient results on the project. And it helps you in analyzing the past data to perform or create efficient project estimates, schedules, and then it gives you a red flag on the risk assessment of the project. And then it also helps you in tracking the performance of the project in a day-to-day basis, like what percent of the project is completed, what percent of the project should have been completed, what percent of the budget is used, and what percent of the budget should have been used. So all this information that is associated with your structural project will be given to you as a single, let's say on a single window, so that you don't have to go over front and back to process all this information. So this is what we mean when I say integrating the data into results. So you will be combining the image from the site visits, video data during the construction, or you will be using the experience, know-how, or the communication and the technical knowledge sharing, knowledge capture that happened during a project, or a written communication, emails, or documents and spreadsheets that were carried out in a project. All these data will be integrated to predict results for your future project. And then this is what the Building Information Modeling 360 tool helps in integrating a 360-degree perspective between project conceptualization, design, analysis, and then construction. So it helps you in giving you a 360-degree or wholesome results, and then it helps you in avoiding the mistakes that you have made in the past, or it helps you in mitigating the risk to avoid uncertainties, and also it gives you multiple options to complete a project. So these are all the key features of sustainability that you want to focus upon when you are executing your project. And uh, BIM 360 also, the way it improves and helps us in improving the aspect of sustainability is nothing but it helps you to manage your technical resources, as in what amount of labor was can be scheduled to complete a task, and then thereby it helps you to manage the time and cost. Similarly, other important factor that BIM 360 helps us in achieve is to meet the quality and standards. So it is not only important to complete the project, sustainability also focuses upon completing the project by meeting the quality standards. So BIM 360 helps us in achieving it. And also, like I said, it helps you in tracking the performance progress of the project in a real-time basis. And it also helps you in generating or help make you make better engineering judgments using or studying the previous project data. Similarly, the key term that we are going to focus upon here is building BIM 360 like pushes us towards a new term in construction or structural or civil engineering industry, which is the construction IQ, wherein we are using core algorithms to convert our data into insights, and then we use these insights as a fast way to track and solve project issues, and we track major issues that require attention. And then it also helps you in like why it is efficient, because from the person who is on the field executing the construction to the team that is designing the project, everyone is made aware of the issues that require attention at the same time. So you do not need to draft an email, you do not need to write an email that needs to be sent from a manager to the team and the team to the associate, and then it goes back as communication. All these time that is spent in communicating the issue is completely avoided here, because everyone is notified. You can be on the field, look at your mobile, you have a dashboard, and then all the issues that need attention is shown to you on the screen. And if you are in the office, the same thing happens to you, and then you can work on it to solve the issue, which definitely improves the sustainability in executing the project. So what is the impact of BIM on construction or executing the project? It helps you meet the quality standards. It helps you to avoid the uncertainties or hazards. And then it helps you to meet the execution of project within the scheduled cost and budget. And it also helps you to meet the project estimates. And having previous data helps you to predict the hazard pattern and make you to have a efficient, optimum, sustainable design in executing the structural projects. So this is the impact of BIM 360 on construction, and I would definitely say that we need to shift our approach on executing the project more on BIM tools that will help us in executing our project within the scheduled time and budget, and help us improve the efficiency in construction of our projects. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Srisaranji. Hello. Girish.
Hello, can you hear me?
Girish Srisaranji. It's a very, very, very good presentation. So, shall we go for any questions?
Yeah. Now we can open the session for any questions.
Yeah. Yes. So I will. I myself will start the question session. So the
Okay.
building information modeling software is available, sir, right now in the market.
Yeah, it is available. So Autodesk has multiple building information modeling tools, such as Autodesk Revit, or you can use Insight. There are multiple tools available in the market, which you can use for creating project models. And it is like fastly growing in Indian construction industry. People are shifting towards these tools, and like mostly they are shifting their focus from AutoCAD. AutoCAD is also developed by the same company, Autodesk, but now construction industry, they prefer to shift their focus from AutoCAD to a higher version, which is Revit and then Insight, to have a more better feature in completing their projects.
Which you feel good, sir? Which software you feel good, in your opinion?
I feel Revit is definitely better than AutoCAD. AutoCAD is one of the primary tool that we learn during our engineering days, and then it is also important when we create shop drawings or other drawings. But when it comes to building construction, I would definitely say Revit is better than AutoCAD, because it helps us save a lot of time when we create the project, and then it helps us to also add more details to our project, which is slightly difficult when we are using AutoCAD.
Yeah, very good. Anyhow, let me first congratulate you for an excellent presentation, sir. So, in fact,
Thank you
has
so much.
in not given even a single instant of time for us to deviate from your presentation. So, being a teacher, I am supposed to congratulate you for a very good presentation. So,
Thank you so much, sir.
Second, sir. Hello. Hello.
Auto. Sir, there was some problem. Just I'm muting that.
Yeah. Sir, you might be knowing that when we used to see tall structures in New York and other areas, we used to feel a little bit this thing. So we used to feel when our country will become that much level. But in fact, is a fact that construction sector, skill sector, plays a very predominant role in development of any country. So, being an experienced person with all the knowledge and expertise you gained there, can you suggest suitable areas of skill development areas in construction sector, skill sector, so as to improve the quality in achieving the coordination, communication, as well as visualization? So also at ground level, and what type of skill trainings are needed during implementation, that is physical implementation, right? I would say. So, can you suggest the skill sectors, skill areas, skill trainings that you suggest, so as to make the project really high quality? Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. So India, we are fastly developing, and you can see a lot of skyscrapers being developed in our country as well. So we are one of the fastly progressing sectors in our country is definitely construction industry. So as you said, we need a lot of like skills that go into when it comes to the construction of large tall buildings. So when it comes to quality or executing the project with efficiency, what we can focus on is on like spending our time, most of the time, on planning the project and with all the details that go into it. So for example, when we construct a skyscraper in Mumbai, the planning that needs to be in Mumbai is definitely different from the skyscraper that if you are planning to build in Chennai. So we need to uh, definitely devote our time in the planning phase of the project, and in addition to it, we need to work on using the tools on building information modeling, because most of the projects like we are fastly approaching towards building information modeling, but what I would say is our like when we are developing our skill set during our engineering days, we can focus on shifting our curriculum towards learning more BIM tools, advanced BIM tools such as Revit or Insight or Robo Structure Analysis. In addition to giving, we learn the concept using engineering drawings, and then we use AutoCAD design classes. So rather than focusing on basic software, we also can shift our curriculum to focus or throw light upon these advanced tools, so that we get exposure on this starting from our engineering days. And then it will obviously make us ready and prepared for the industry. And then probably we can develop the skill set that is needed for executing the task in the field once we graduate and approach towards the industry.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Anyhow, our IIIF Industry Institution Interaction Forum is the main objective is only to knowledge transfer the knowledge and skills, and also share the best practices among the members. So it acts as a bridge between industry and institution, as well as institution and institution, as well as industry and the industry as well. So I'm sure the services of persons like you who are serving it abroad are highly essential for this country, sir. So thank you for spending your valuable time here. I request you to kindly keep spending your time like this, so that the people of this country will be benefited, even though you are at USA. And I take this opportunity to congratulate our Girish Kumar ji in getting as the Girish Sridharan ji to this very good presentation. And thank you once again, and I congratulate.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. So Girish ji, please kindly, sir. Girish Kumar ji, please kindly.
Sir, excuse me, I am Dr. J.T. Naidu. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Girish. Hello.
Kindly unmute, sir. Girish Sridharan ji, please kindly unmute your.
Hello. Yeah. Now are you able to hear me?
Yeah. My question is, what about in BIM software? Any possibility of having the quantities of the materials once you have the building plan? Can you able to get the quantities?
Yeah. So whenever using when we use to create our model, what happens in a BIM tool is when you are creating the model, you assign the material to it. So for example, you're creating a layout of a concrete wall. So the model extracts the model, like based on the model, it studies the length, width, and the height of the wall, and then it calculates the volume, and then it has based on it has a like automatically set up density of concrete saved in its database, and it calculates a quantity based on that. And in case if you want to revise the quantity, for example, if you are not using a normal concrete and you are using a lightweight concrete, you can go back to the database, create a duplicate of material concrete, and save it as lightweight concrete, and assign the unit weight that is specific, or that you are looking that based on the material procurement data that you get, and it automatically revises the calculation. So it helps us in saving the time that is spent on evaluating the quantities and preparing the estimate, where it does it in no time. So it saves us a lot of time that is spent on preparing the quantity and estimates.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, Girish, hello. You are able to hear me now?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you.
Thank you once again, Girish, for accepting our invitation,
Thank
because
you.
we are doing this is nth time together.
Yeah.
Very nice of you. And I also want to tell Prakash Rao sir, as he was unaware of this. Sir, Prakash Rao sir, hello, you're there? Hello. Sir, actually, Girish Sridharan is actually one of my students, sir. When I was doing my MTech and PhD, he was a BTech in NIT Trichy. So from the beginning, I used to see the kind of enthusiasm or kind of interest that he had to explore a lot of things in advance ahead of so many students, and commitment right from beginning. So that's why he's in such place now. He's doing wonderful job there, and with a lot of exposure. And we wish him very all the best for to reach a very great height in future also.
Yeah.
So the credit goes to the teacher as well. So I too congratulate you, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Girish, all the best, Girish, and God bless you.
Yeah, thank you so
thank
much.
you very much. Is there any other doubts? Because you are running out of time, because it's late night to you. We are happy once again for you, because you are sparing time even at late night. Yeah. So if at all any other questions do we have, we will post you mail. You can address those questions later. Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing valuable information with us. Feedback link is posted in the chat box. Kindly fill in the feedback form. Thank you all for participating in this session. We have another wonderful session in the afternoon at 2:30 p.m. Kindly join for that session by 2:20 p.m. Thank you all once again. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, madam. And thank you, Girish.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We'll meet at 2:20 p.m., sir, for the last session.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. We are on time, sir.